Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's been a long time. We're here again. The Thundercross Splitcast is coming at you. I'm Kyle. Over there is Eric.
Over here is Eric. Over there is Kyle.
That's right. And today we have our very first guest over here in the name of good old Christian. Christian, what's going on?
I didn't know I was the first guest.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But we're paying you by the word, so you don't talk during the first Jojo. When we talk about Jojo.
Yeah, this is true. You might know Christian from our sister podcast, The Book Club.
From Planet Zero.
That's right. Actually, Eric and Christian co-host that show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was like a alternate dimension us, I think.
Yeah,
it's an alternate dimension you. It's the same me.
Oh,
well, they pulled Christian from the Outpost on Planet Zero. So here's kind of the thing is that so Christian, this is a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure podcast, but kind of more focused on the new chapters of release of Jojolands. Tell us your relationship to JoJo.
Yeah. How did he do to you? What did he do to you? Tell us what he did to you.
I got introduced to JoJo by osmosis, by just hanging out with Eric and being around Eric.
And
Osmosis Jones.
Osmosis Jones. Mine and Eric's close mutual friends, Osmosis Jones, was talking about Eric with about JoJo's one day, and I was like, JoJo's, that sounds really interesting, and they started making a bunch of references, and so then I went home to kissanime.me. And tried to watch JoJo's,
Kiss anime.
but I accidentally watched the OVA and was very confused.
It's the Part 3 OVA.
You were doing
the Part 3 OVA TV series. So I
where
didn't watch the
Jotaro
movie.
looks like a caveman.
Yeah, and I didn't watch the movie, so it ended on them getting to. I think it ends with them getting to Egypt and finding his palace.
You know how like the first part, like the second half of Part 3 got animated in like the 90s. And then they went in like the early 2000s and animated the first half of Part 3.
I think they try to finish it, yeah. So
no, I didn't know that. I was very confused because I was listening to all these fun like references that they were making, and then I was like, "This is shit. This is awful." And then the next time I hung out with him, I was like, "JoJo's is garbage." And he was like, "No, you need to watch the 2012, 2013 anime." Yeah. And then I watched that all in like 3 sittings.
That's good.
And then I read Part 6. And then I read Part 7.
So you watched the anime. How much anime was there?
I watched all of what was it? David Animations. What is it?
David Productions.
Yeah, David Productions. I watched theirs.
It was up to Part 4.
Part 4,
all the way up to. No, I read because I watched all of Part 4.
Yeah,
and then I was gonna start reading Part 5, but the Part 5 anime was literally about to come out in the next 2 months, so I waited and I watched Part 5. And then I read Part 6, read Part 7.
He didn't
tried to read Part 8 and realized that Part 7 is peak. So I stopped reading.
Fans don't know this, but listeners, you don't know this, but he's wearing his "I will refuse to read Part 8" T-shirt right now.
It's not that I refuse to read it. It's that it's boring.
Damn.
I know that's your favorite part, Kyle. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know if it's my favorite part anymore.
Oh no, Kyle! That's like your entire identity. Like that, you are like a Part 8 guy.
Well, I was just really happy to be caught up on JoJo's because not a lot of people are. You know, like for instance, we're all One Piece fans now. You know,
now
we're all One Piece fans. I have been caught up with One Piece since I was like in 10th grade, so I know what it's like to be alone at the finish line. You know what I mean? And it's like that. I felt the same way with Jojolands. I think Eric was the only other person that I know. Well, I think Lucas was reading it too, my roommate, but he didn't care about it.
I was the only one.
Yeah, and I liked Josuke a lot. You know,
Gappy.
I think Gappy's a hilarious character. He's got some funny stuff
That's
going on.
the four balls guy.
It is a four balls guy.
Each of those balls represents something. You'll find out. each of those spheres.
I don't believe you.
One of them is family values. The other one's justice.
Right. But also, I think the highs of Jojolian are some of the biggest highs in all of JoJo.
Yeah.
But the same is for the lows. It's like Jojolian honestly should still be like coming out and like wrapping up right now.
Yeah.
There was that last fight that took like 20 chapters, and like halfway through that fight, and I was like, there's got to be something after this.
There were like 2 chapters.
It was 2 chapters.
That's interesting because like I just caught up with One Piece this year, and I'm starting to experience like I never experienced fatigue reading One Piece really until I got kind of to Wano, and then I was reading Wano and I was getting caught up, and I was like, man, this arc is so long, but it's also so recent, and if I wasn't able to pick up the next book right after I finished the previous book, like if I didn't have that option, I think I'd be really annoyed, like with the amount of information I'm getting. And now I'm feeling that with Egghead because like stuff's coming out, and I'm like, yeah, but this isn't fast. Like we're still in a flashback right now, and I wish we were. Like I wish things were still happening in the arc I was reading.
The newest chapter 1101. I think finished up Kuma's flashback.
I heard that.
Bonnie's part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean One Piece spoilers, but it ends with Bonnie going to go out to find her father.
It seems like the flashback is wrapping up right now.
It seems like it's coming full circle, where like the end of the flashback is the pickup of where like now you have seen all of that character's journey leading up to this. That's pertinent.
There's going to be a couple of chapters of Luffy, and then we're going to have another flashback.
Yeah, and then hold on, we're going to stop and see what Sabo's doing for like 10 chapters.
Oh my lord.
I love One Piece. That is my biggest gripe with One Piece is the amount of flashbacks I have to... Like, some of them are good, some of them are
they're
cool.
all usually like really good.
They're all...
Dressrosa was like so many backstories, but a lot of them were pretty good.
Senior Pink flashback.
Baby Five had like a 2-panel
when that Seraphim started swimming.
Man, when they told me that Sugar was an adult, I said, y'all are... Come on, Oda. And then he's like, okay, you know what? Let me like reverse that with Bonnie.
Sugar's an adult and Bonnie is a child.
Yeah.
Remember that first panel of her with her sexual pose? Oda, come on.
Yeah, well, you know.
Oh, well, he did create her and all those characters like the chapter before they were all introduced.
Do you think Oda, the second like Bartholomew Kuma's like showed up on that panel when he's hanging out with Doflamingo, he knew what his backstory was?
I don't think so. At least not all of it. I think he kind of like creates these things as he goes. Some of them he does plot along the lines, but as he creates more characters, he creates a lot of side stories. Like I said before, Bonnie wasn't even invented until like the chapter previously.
That's right.
When she was like. As with the rest of the 11 supernovas, so he probably added that on like as he was creating the stories.
He's good at weaving backwards, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. He
aforementioned flashbacks, constantly.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, this is a JoJo's podcast, so
sorry, I got you guys off topic.
Yeah, we should get the JoJo out of the way. We start with the latest chapter.
So like Christian said, he hasn't read Jojolands, so that means he hasn't started Jojolands either.
But I don't think he's gonna get a lot spoiled, or I don't think
spoil away, guys.
Well,
sometimes I feel like JoJo's that one kind of series that you can get spoiled a little bit because it kind of like
JoJo is
makes you because it makes you want to like read it. I think that's like
JoJo's is a series where you can walk up to someone and you can go, Vanilla Ice killed Iggy Pop in Egypt in 1980. And they'll go, excuse me? And you go, that's a JoJo spoiler, but you're still going to watch it.
I remember I was trying to get someone into JoJo, and they were all like, no, it's too gay and stuff. Like he tried to watch the first season, but like he stopped watching in the middle of part 1, and then I just tell them, okay, I'm just going to tell you what happened. This dude dies and everything. He's like, what? He dies? And I had to show him the clip, and then he wanted to go back and watch it again.
Oh, nice. Part one's not even the gayest.
Yeah.
Part one is the most subtextually gay.
Yeah.
Like that one's the one where it has the most subtext of them being gay for each other, and then part two happens, and you're like, everyone here is gay.
Yeah.
Secretly.
I'm trying to watch a part one movie. I think part one would be a great movie.
You try to watch. I thought you were mentioning about the Lost Part 1 movie.
I heard they've cut Speedwagon out. Why would I want to?
Yeah, who wants to watch that?
Who's gonna heat? Whose hot abs are gonna unfreeze
Will's arm?
Will's arms, exactly.
Part one should be 2 movies, and they should both be with Speedwagon as the main character.
Yeah, from our perspective.
I think there's enough for just one movie. Make it almost like an hour.
No, I think it should be a TV series like One Piece. I think it could. It's possible.
At that point, you're just making the anime live action.
Yeah.
I think Jojo could work as a live action, especially for part 1 and 2.
Part 1 and 2, definitely.
Like what was that kung fu movie, Kung Fury, with the?
Wait, Kung Fu Hustle or Kung
Fu Hustle? That's what I was. I'm sorry. Yeah, with the big palm that destroyed the building. That I feel like in the style of that, it could work. It's got to be like
they got to be
over the top, but like the characters need to take everything seriously kind of vibe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But going back to JoJo parts, you don't care if we.
What's going on? What's going on in part?
So
9?
right now, Giorno, and his older sister brother, I think it's just school brother.
Yeah, I think it's brother. He's just feminine.
Yeah, which is it's good.
I think that's awesome. Good on
Still
you,
hot.
Rocky.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Seal of approval.
Seal of the
Dragona's hot.
Well, anyway, so they broke into Rohan's house because of a diamond heist, I think, and they took a lava rock. And they're like, "Wow, this is gonna be something."
Well,
and
you got to let them know that they're gangsters first.
Kinda.
Well,
they're drug dealers.
Yeah. So
Jodio's a drug dealer.
Jodio and Dragona are brothers who are drug dealers.
What do they deal?
God, I forgot.
And I'm pretty sure
Meth.
coke.
Whatever's, I think fentanyl.
It's a little in a little baggy. Fentanyl.
Whatever's the latest drug going on.
Whatever.
In the US,
so their school principal
Okay.
is their boss, and she runs a clothing boutique in a mall after school.
She gives them a job to go steal this diamond in Hawaii, or are they already in Hawaii? It's another island
they're
in Hawaii.
on Oahu, right? The island of Oahu, and then they go to another island. I don't remember which one.
So on this trip they got Paco, which is this kid who failed a grade. So now he's an 18-year-old who's still in high school.
He didn't go to school for a whole year. And
Oh,
I think the subtext is that he's a rock human.
And the fourth person, I think that's true.
Christian's like a rock human.
Yeah,
you
I
gotta
told
read
you about rock
Jojolands.
humans already.
I don't want to.
And
They're
then
a
the
new
fourth
race.
person in their crew is a guy they just sold drugs to, and all of a sudden now he's with them.
Yeah.
This new guy who's part of the I guess their little gang is just the guy they just sold drugs to.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
His
they
name's
brought him along.
Usagi. He has like a full like suit, like a bodysuit that like is kind of like Pink Guy.
Let me
That's,
see if I
that's
can
what
find
people were talking about.
Let's see if I can find a.
He's like Green Man.
His stand is weird. It's called the Mate Kudasai, which means "wait, please" in Japanese, and it's
Yeah.
also a King Crimson song.
This is what he looks like right there. The guy.
Oh my god.
And Dragona's the dark skinned one.
What does his stand do?
Yeah, his stand.
Who is that guy? That's the guy from Ultimate Muscle.
No, that guy.
that guy-
That's
hold
a jeweler.
on.
That's a
Let me
jeweler.
see.
That's a jewelry guy.
Julie looks like the guy from Ultimate Muscle.
Yeah, he
The
does.
Kung Fu guy.
Yeah. So the Mate Kudasai only works if you have somebody else.
present with
Present.
you.
Yeah.
They have to tell him what they want, and his stand can transform into that.
Yeah,
And he
but it's
goes,
like a
"Wait,
bootleg
please."
copy.
It's like a what?
It's like a bootleg copy of whatever they
boot.
want.
So yeah, that's
yeah.
his stand. Going back to Jodio, his stand is called November Rains. It's like this thing with spider legs, with like a torso with like long spider
You
legs.
ever see those devices that are like scalp rubbers? It's like a stick.
He's got a head massager for
He's got a head
stand?
massager for a
Wow.
stand.
It stands above him, and it drops raindrops that if it hits an enemy, it feels like they're getting punched. So
They like sink into their skin.
Do they? Okay.
So it's like getting punched, but upwards, like downwards, actually. So that's how his stand works. You have to be directly below his stand.
Who's the guy who has the stand that can make bootleg copies? Usagi. I'd like for him to have an arc in this where he gets clean off of drugs and his stand stops making bootleg copies and he makes perfect copies once he's off drugs.
Man.
That would be
I think
great.
that'd be a cool character.
You know,
development.
that's similar to Purple Haze.
Yeah, where he's like
He starts being rabid, and then he has like perfect purple haze in the book.
Is that what happened?
Fugo.
Did you read that? Or
I listened to the audiobook, which is it's on YouTube. Some guy just reads it.
I want to do that with the new George Joestar novel.
Oh my god!
Oh, but that's another story.
An abomination.
Then you got Dragona, another Joestar. His stand is called Smooth Operators, like these little things with tank track legs that can like change the structure of anything. Mm-hmm. Like your body, like move your thumb like anywhere, or move like
they just move stuff around.
Yeah, they can move. Like, I think they can also move objects, like a lock. Just move it.
Yeah, but they the first use of it was Dragona. He made fake IDs, so he stole some IDs
and he just moved the
and
words
like
around.
they moved the letters around, and they moved like the pictures.
Jesus,
yeah. So they can like fuck with like metaphysical things too.
Yeah,
I guess
that's
it's
interesting.
kind of weird.
And then you got Paco, whose stand's ability is not completely defined yet. And Araki literally stated when he first showed us the stand was all like, you're not going to understand what the stand is, but you'll find out later on when he actually uses it.
You won't get it if I tell you right now.
Pretty much, I guess he can like his objects can mold into his body and they can like shift around
like
his body.
He can like
It sounds
manipulate his body to like do
It sounds
whatever.
like Araki got tired of people calling bullshit on stands after the fact when he just starts making up powers for stands. It sounds like Araki was like, Paco stand, don't worry about it.
That
Don't
one-
worry
was that
about
We'll
it.
discuss it later.
It's called it's
The Hustle.
The Hustle. He's
He's also running out of musical names, which is fun.
No, dude, he'll never run out, man.
So right now they stole. Well, they didn't steal. Rohan caught them stealing their shit, but he was
What
like,
does Rohan look like in this?
He's
He
the
looks
same.
like
Oh, he's the same?
he looks like Rohan. I mean, he looks
the
like
same.
Rohan from
I know,
the OVAs.
right? Not
and
even
stuff.
completely, not even a little different. I was kind of upset about that, but
But he is a different Rohan.
I mean, it's up
We
to
don't-
interpretation.
yeah.
Interesting.
I think like Rocky put some like hints like so this might be the Rohan that have been in some of the Thus Spoke Rohan OVAs.
But they're not in the same universe as the original, as JoJo Prime universe.
Jojo Prime. I don't know. Who knows? Who
Everybody's
knows?
doing
But I think
multiverse these
Araki was
days.
like, he's my favorite. I'm going to put him in wherever I
He's
want.
you mean he's you, Araki?
Oh.
He's me.
I love that picture Rocky drew of him and
They're hugging each other
they're
in a
hugging each
romantic
other and
way.
they're smiling.
Yeah,
That's really sweet.
I like it.
But yeah, they're tasked with going to steal a diamond from a villa, and it turns out it's Rohan's villa, and he's swimming in a pool. And Jodio's like, "Yo, I've watched his anime.
I watch his anime.
Oh,
We're stealing
shit.
from the Rohan. There's a point where you wanted to look at his manuscripts, right? That was
Yeah. He looked at his manuscripts.
so. But pretty much, they had a little stand fight. But in the end,
Is it Heaven's Door?
Yeah.
Yes, it's Heaven's Door.
It's
Everything's
just straight up
it's
Heaven's Door.
Pretty much a
I
copy
might
and
read
paste.
this part.
Yeah, so
It's Pink Dark Boy.
it's Pink Dark Boy. That's the name of the stand, I think. No, it's
No, that's the
still
name of
Heaven's Door.
the comic book that
Yeah,
he,
so-
manga that he does.
So they had a little stand hustle, but at the end, Rohan voluntarily lets them go away with the diamond and the rock because he's studying that rock. But for some
Yeah.
reason, he's like, you know
we
what?
didn't tell him what the rock is.
Well, we're getting there because we're
is it
going
a person?
No,
we
it's
wish.
literally like just the stone.
It's like a stone.
It's
that
called
can,
lava.
lava.
And
it can attract,
Usagi is the one who tells him it's lava.
Yeah, this drug head tells him
He knows
this
about
is
it.
actually a haha rock. But it has this magical ability that could attract wealth, it's like a magnet for wealth, kind of like that.
And their boss wants this.
No,
boss wants
the one
the
with the
diamond.
They just found this with the diamond. As like they're going through his safe and stuff. They found this rock and they're like, "Huh, this might be worth something." But
No,
then right?
so they keep dropping the diamond when it moves away from the rock.
Oh, that's right.
That was happening for like 3 chapters. Eric was like, "God damn it! Why do you keep dropping it?"
Yeah, that's right. I was getting pissed off.
And then they finally figured it out, and then they took it with them, and then they were getting chased by these 3 cats that also had a stand.
Sustainability.
The cats had like some sort of barbed wire string stand.
3 cats had one stand together.
Yeah, they were fighting together.
I know that happens. That's not new.
Remember the 11 men or the 12 men from part 7?
Oh yeah,
tattoo you.
Yeah, I love that,
dude. Part 7's peak. We want to talk about part 7?
Well, maybe next episode.
Right.
Maybe at least let's finish up. Let's finish up this chapter.
Let's do the summary. So they outrun the cats. Usagi does this maneuver where he runs away and you think he's betraying them, but then he gets a car and he just like runs over the cats or something. He's like, yeah, guys, I'm back. I brought some burgers for the cats to eat. And that's
caviar, right?
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't just be like, hey, ask me for some burgers.
So now they are waiting for their flight to go back home, but Usagi and Dragona wants to test out this lava rock even more. So they're going into a watch store, and think they could try to steal a watch as they can. And also, Jodio and Paco are outside eating tacos or burgers or whatever, and getting to mishap themselves.
So these guys are just a bunch of teen thieves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This actually kind of sounds interesting.
Yeah, and it's cool that it's set in Hawaii, so things are Hawaiian.
Yeah, and it's American culture too.
It is, yeah. Like, so Jodio's like is shown playing a Nintendo Switch, and he's like a Zoomer. So it's just funny. He's
a TikToker. That's pretty much how people like describe Jodio. He has the personality of a laid back Zoomer.
Of
How
like
mad
an
would
iPad
you be
kid.
if I skipped part 8 and just started reading part 9?
You know what? You've done it. Have you skipped parts?
You skipped part 6, right?
No, I read. So we're getting back. This is like 2015 or something like that. I think so.
That would have been part 4.
I had read part 1 before, and it was like kind of boring to me at that point in time.
Okay.
But then Eric was telling the Meacher, if you're familiar, to watch JoJo's.
Yeah, we were watching JoJo.
I caught up with her like halfway, I think through part 3, and I finished that with her, and then I went back and watched part 1 and 2.
See how if I remember correctly, how it was explained to me. She probably got it mixed up, but she explained it. You finished part 3 with her, then you watched part 4, and then you skipped all the way to part 7 to get to the dinosaurs and Jesus. That's how
it sounds like a good watch.
I read part 5, and then after that I went to part 7, and then I went back to part 6.
So you did skip part 6.
Yeah, but I ended up with it all eventually.
Yeah.
And then I tried to start part 8 a couple of times, but it wasn't clicking for me. And then one day I was like, you know what? There's like 80 chapters of part 8. Like, no, I think it was like 65 or something.
Something like that, yeah.
It was
because there's like 100 chapters,
100-something chapters, and then like
8.
we were talking about part 8 for like 2 years.
How many chapters are in part 7?
It's like 80, but
yeah, it's
half of like the first like 30 chapters are like regular Shonen Jump length, and then the rest of it are like between 50 and 70 pages.
Sane in length. But yeah, that's Kyle's journey to JoJo.
Mm-hmm. That is mine. Eric,
what
was your journey?
I just started from part 1 onwards, but I fucked up because Crunchyroll had like this season for like. Because I had the first season, which is like part 1 and 2 all the way through, but then they had like a recap season where it's like a whole hour of part 1, but it's like chopped up to be just an hour's worth of watching. And then there's the part 2. They did it for 2, but like 2 hours difference. So they just chopped it up to put it in 2 hours so people can just go to part 3. And I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I watched that one first and then the part 3. But then I eventually went back and rewatched all part 1 and 2.
That's interesting. Well, that sounds like you got tricked.
Yeah. Someone like recommended to me the wrong way, but I eventually fixed it.
Okay.
I found a ranking of the parts longest to shortest.
Okay. Hit us with it.
You want to start from the bottom of the shortest one?
Sure.
It's part 1. As we all know.
Part 1.
But it's part 1 and 2, 7 and 8. Part 8 is ongoing. Oh, at this point it was ongoing, so this was 35 chapters.
Oh, right now it's the highest.
Wow,
So
that's
the
an
highest?
old.
Yeah, part
8 is the longest.
Okay.
So move that to the
Stardust
top.
Crusaders,
Okay.
Part 5, Part 6, Part 4, and then this person lists Part 7 as the longest
It was
because
the
of
longest.
simply page count, not because of chapters. So
Oh.
Diamond
Yeah,
is
that
Unbreakable
makes
had
sense.
174 chapters, but Steel Ball Run had 95 chapters. But
thought-
because it had double to triple the amount of pages as all other Shonen Jump, it's technically longer. It has 24 volumes.
I thought
printed.
part 3 was
Which is the most
one of
volumes
the
printed.
longest.
Part
Part 4 is
3
longer
had
than
20
part 3.
volumes or 19 volumes.
Yeah, Part 3 had 17 volumes. Part 4 had
Okay.
18.
Actually,
Part 3 had 16 volumes. Part 4 had 18, and Part 5 had 17.
Yeah,
Same with
wow,
Part 6.
they're all around the same
Because
length.
in America we get these hardcover 2-in-1s, but I guess they're sometimes 3-in-1s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it looks like Part 7 with 24 volumes is one of the longest ones, along with Part 8.
Yeah, so part 8 is the whole thing is seinen. So the man wrote part 8 for 10 years.
That's insane. That's a whole generation.
Yeah.
Of Joe. That's like the entire duration of GTA.
Like-
GTA 5 Online.
When he started, the Zoomers references were hitting, and now they're
Well, when he started part 8, the part 1 anime was just about to come out.
not. Oh, wow, that's like 2012.
Wow.
And then it went all the way through to the end of part 6, pretty much.
Jesus
It
Christ.
was, yeah. Oh my God. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Part 6 was out when part 8 was still
What's the
going.
release schedule like
For the anime?
for the
It's
the
once a
manga?
month,
It's
but
once a month.
sometimes
Once a month,
he
okay.
takes breaks.
Yeah, he usually averages 10 chapters a year.
Okay.
So
Seinen is like long because the chapters are longer than Shonen Jump.
they're
chapters.
between 40 and 70 pages.
Oh my god, 70-page chapters. Part 7 was a riot. That's my
I
first
know.
seinen manga I read. So when you say like maybe I'll read one more chapter for the night, it ends up being
It's like 50 pages.
Mean-
and you're like,
Meanwhile, you're reading Berserk seinen, and they're like 12 pages for a chapter.
yeah.
God, dude.
Well, that's kind of how it ends up being.
Dude, Berserk is so crazy because every time I talk to you guys about Berserk, I'm always like, you guys read the latest chapter of Berserk? And we all have to figure out what chapter we just read. And they're like, what happened? And we all have to describe just pictures to each other.
Where that picture where Guts
We're like, they're
fell to
on a
his
boat.
knees.
And it's like, okay, yeah, they're on a boat. And it's like, the Kushan are there? Uh-huh.
Guts
Yeah.
dropped his sword.
Yeah,
Okay.
he did drop his
What
sword.
else?
You know what's so funny is that there's so little dialogue in these new post-Miura chapters. I was on my way back from Connecticut from spending time with the Meachers family
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving, and I wanted to stop at the official One Piece card game store in New Jersey. It's like literally on the water, right across the river from like Staten Island.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, there's New York over there. It's pretty
go
cool.
over there.
But it turns out that the One Piece card store was in this like replica Japanese mall.
Oh.
And I was like, whoa, this is cool. And they had like bookstores and, all sorts of stuff.
Nice.
And so I go into the bookstore and they have like brand new up to date like manga. And I was like, oh.
just
So I
released
bought
volumes.
Berserk number 42.
Yeah.
And I bought Jojolands volume 1
Nice.
for like $6 each.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like great, but it's funny. Like I said, there's so little dialogue in the new Berserk. I'm like just flipping through it. I'm like, yeah, I know what's going on.
Like you finish 42.
Like I took my one college class in Japanese. I know that says Griffiths.
Because the only dialogue in volume was, you said 43?
42.
42. The only dialogue in that volume would be, is that the volume where or is 41 the volume where Griffin makes the government?
41
that scene?
and 41 ends with the moon baby turning into Griffith.
Yeah, with
No,
him
but
crying.
you know the scene I'm talking about?
It's 40.
Yeah,
It's
that's
volume
40?
40 where Griffith like has Falconia or something.
And
It's like
he's
38.
sitting there and he's like, we need public schools. Yeah.
yeah.
And
He's
it was
like,
actually Charlotte's idea. And
it
then
was
Griffith
Charlotte's
just-
idea, and Griffith was like, "That's an amazing, Charlotte."
And everyone
actually-
was all like, "Stop talking, woman." I'm like, "Damn."
Griffith is like, actually, she has great ideas, and universal health care should also be enacted.
Yeah, and you should stop being hateful to women.
Yeah.
And Guts is like, he's the devil.
Meanwhile, you have Tommy Wiseau, his what's his name? Locus?
Locus.
Yeah, showing
Silverman.
Ricker like the Apostle
Locust Knight.
fighting ring.
Yeah. He's like, this is where a bunch of demons fight.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you're from the original Band of the Hawk. You know, there's some shit you need to see, buddy.
There's some stuff you got to understand, kid.
Oh, my gosh.
Richter, who showed up on the Kushan boat?
Oh, it was Rickard. It was Rickard.
That was Richter. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. That's
the
what
same Rickard that slapped the fuck out of Griffith.
Yeah.
What a man. Guts couldn't do that.
Guts sliced a single hair off of his head.
That's all he could do.
And what did Rickard did to Griffith?
He bitch slapped him, man.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, and backhanded, I think. No.
Yeah, and then he left, and then like Griffith sent his boys after Rickard. I was like,
was it Griffith that sends the boys after, or was it Lucas? Because I remember Lucas was like seeing that and got really pissed off because he was really.
I don't think Griffith would have really cared to kill Rickard.
I think Griffith doesn't even view Rickard as anything.
So I think
I think Griffith, the only thing Griffith really pays attention to is his domain and Guts.
Hold on. Do you remember after the conviction arc, Guts comes back to like Godo's house, and I think Godo's dead, right? At this point.
Yeah.
But Rickard's there, and Rickard's like, Guts, you will never believe it.
It's the happiest thing ever.
And Guts is like, what?
He just starts raging.
Oh my god, the trauma comes.
He's like,
back.
you could never hate Griffith. And but Griffith's like, Rickard, if you could say you still follow the dream and everything, I have no reason to say no if you want to hang. And Guts is like, Griffith. Stupid, sexy Griffith.
Stupider and sexier than ever, Griffith.
I'm sorry, guys. Let's finish up this Jojolands summary. So they go Dragona and
well, first Jojo gets a call from his mommy.
Well, yeah, but Dragona and Usagi go into the watch room with the rock, and one of the watches disappears.
Yeah, and the jeweler guy sees it, and and
he's like,
out.
"Hey, where'd it go?" And that's a whole thing. And then, like Eric said, Jodio gets a call from his mom.
Barbara Ann Joestar.
Barbara Ann.
There she is right there.
Is she hot?
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Yeah. So Barbara Ann is Holly Joestar's sister.
Oh.
Yeah.
Younger sister, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. So I wonder if she like keeps up with her sister's condition and everything,
I hope so. I hope it comes back.
Yeah.
But what the heck is Jodio and Paco doing?
They're keeping watch outside. Paco went to go eat a hot dog, and then Jodio and Paco have just been talking, and Paco is trying to tell Jodio that they should just like give up the rock because it's none of their business and it's like a bad idea. And Jodio's like, Paco, make a fucking decision, man. We're out here for a fucking purpose.
Yeah, there it is. He's getting upset with it.
He's like, yo, you gotta like
Paco,
stick to your fucking convictions, man. And Paco's like, okay.
Nani?
And meanwhile, back at the shop, like they get the video recording of them with the watches, and it shows the watch just like going up Dragona's like hand. But then all of a sudden, like, the rock gets closer to the workers, and then the watch like starts like scurrying away, and they're like, "Whoa, this is a slippery watch. Oh, we're so sorry. We're so sorry."
They eventually saw the watch at the guy's like shoe. It was stuck in his shoe, and they're like, "Oh, how'd it get down there?" And they're trying to catch it, and it starts slipping around. I'm like, "Oh, the slippery watch!"
It literally like looks like it's slipping away, like out the room and out the door.
And they're like, "Oh, we're sorry for accusing you," or some shit like that.
And so they start to get outside, and then all of a sudden, Paco comes back from the hot dog. He's like, "Hey, who's that guy?" And so Jodio's been talking to a fake Paco, and he's like,
"Oh, a rock person, I think."
Yeah, he starts shedding his skin, and it's like a new guy.
Yeah, there it goes. Why is Paco shedding skin?
Yeah,
I think he's a rock human.
Jesus.
Well, that's not Paco. That's the owner. That's the owner of the cats. Oh, forgot to mention, Paco and Jodio got a bag with those cats' severed heads in them.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. They were chilling, and then they get a bag like that.
Yeah, that's why Paco's like, maybe we should stop. But it was not Paco. It was the owner of those cats.
Jesus.
And this chapter's called "The Owner of the Lava Rock."
Whoa!
Yeah,
Rose Rohan.
Oh, that's why Rohan gave it
Rohan's
away
still
so
tied
easily.
up
Yeah.
in his fucking villa
He's like, I got.
He's tied up. Why is he tied up?
because they tied him up.
They didn't untie him when he was like, "You can have the rock."
Nope.
Oh, I thought.
You think Jordan's gonna do that?
I thought Joe. But Rohan did say he can keep the rock or something
You
like
can
that.
keep the rock just on top. Wait, where are you
Well,
going?
he was like, "I'm not giving you the rock.
Oh,
I'm
he
simply
said-
entrusting it to you."
I think he said something like, if you cannot get onto your flight at the right time, destroy the rock, something like that, or throw the rock out in the ocean.
Did he say something like that?
Yeah, I remember
Oh, okay.
Rohan giving him that little lesson.
So there's all sorts of different caveats attached to this rock, and that's what's going on in Jojolands right now.
yeah, rock right now, the MacGuffin.
When are they going to roll?
rock going on with JoJo's?
There's always a rock, you know. There's
When
the
are they gonna
stone,
roll?
the red stone of Aja,
There's
The stone mask,
The stone mask.
the stone mask. The arrows were made out of a stone, right?
Angelo,
Angelo.
the rock.
He turns into a rock.
Turns into a rock in part 4.
That is such a great beatdown for a villain.
Yeah.
Turn him into a mortal rock.
Yo, Angelo.
Yo, Angelo.
Let's end it there, yo, Angelo. Oh, let's do some more. Wait, we didn't talk about One Piece.
Yeah, I mean, well, hold on. Let's Christian. Out of that short summary and a couple of panels we've shown you, what's your impression on new JoJo?
Part 9 looks cool.
Okay.
Part 9 looks cool. Part 9 sounds interesting and it sounds fun. Part 8, I didn't like how much it was a mystery. Everything was a mystery.
You don't
Everything
know a
was-
whole lot,
Yeah.
but
But
once
that
you
was-
find out,
that
I
was
mean,
part of the fun, though, like because
Yeah.
it is a mystery. You gotta like see how this Morio is different from the Prime Universe Morio.
I guess I just didn't care.
You don't like Morio?
no, it's not that. It's just that, like-
radio.
Because
Radio.
I don't know. It's just the alternate universe Morio. I just did not. I didn't. Because I read part 8. Because I think it got revised. Because part 8 initially, when I first read it. When I first read it, was just a bunch of like explanation of rock formations for the first like 2 chapters.
Oh my god.
well,
right.
I mean, he shows like the walleyes, which is
Yeah.
like leftover from an earthquake,
Yeah.
right?
It's like a whole chapter of that, and then at the end, a hand is sticking out of one of the walleyes, and then the next chapter introduces Josuke. And then I think when I went to go read it again recently, they flipped those, where the first chapter is Josuke coming out of the thing, and then they later tell you about the walleyes. Which I was like, that's better. That's way better. That's so much quicker into the, like, I'd rather get thrusted into a story where I don't know what's going on, and then later there be mystery than
Yeah,
like...
then give me exposition later instead of right off the
instead
back.
of right off dick exposition and then a mystery. I'm like, you just gave me so much expedition.
You're gonna
Like, you
hate
just gave me
that.
so much exposition, but I still feel like I don't know anything about what's going on.
That reminds me of at one point during a very important battle in Jojolands, and like the next chapter completely stops that story and tells us all the biology about rock people. That whole chapter.
Oh, yeah.
You remember? We're like,
where they're like,
I wonder how this fight's gonna keep going in the next chapter. And then a month went by. It's just a biology lesson on rock people, and you're like,
where they're like fetuses, but like outside in the world, and they're like the size of like beans.
the
and,
life cycle of a rock human. They
and,
get carried around by they get carried,
hornets.
They get flied on the back of hornets, and then they.
I think I'll
Live with-
read part 8 all in like 3 sittings, because part 7 I read it all in one sitting. I read it all in one day.
Well,
That's
part
pretty
8's all
impressive.
colored now,
yeah,
so that
Well,
might help you.
yeah, and I think like reading it and not having to wait a month for a chapter is going to be way better. Like, because
Yeah,
with
oh
One
my God.
Piece, Eric was like, you and Eric both were like, Wano sucks. Best of luck. And I'm like, honestly, I didn't hate Wano. I enjoyed Wano. I just understood why it would suck for someone who was caught up. Because every week you're like, oh, we're about to wrap this fight, and it's a different fight.
Yeah.
Every chapter it jumps around so
mean,
much, and there's so much going on that
That's
it's just
how
like,
I felt about Dressrosa.
Yeah.
reading that
Yeah,
week to
but
week.
eventually Dressrosa was pretty good.
It ramped up pretty high.
It get to a point where like it started wrapping up pretty nicely. Like it was still kind of jumbled up, but like with Wano, it never got to that point. I felt like to me.
So I'll probably revisit part 8 for like a third time and just get hooked 20 or 30 chapters in. Because we got up to like chapter what?
When we were all reading it together and doing the voices, it was like chapter like seven or something like that.
So casually.
The last part was with the Daimo, the sister.
Yes, the Daimo fart.
Really? You got that far?
Yeah, the Daimo fight was just starting.
Yeah, Daimo fart.
Whoa, that's like
Daimo fart.
Well, the vitamin C arc, right?
Yeah.
So
we didn't get to the
because the Aphex twins were before that.
No, at the beginning. No, that's the when he first gets adopted
when his
to the house.
task is to watch her.
He had to watch over the sister with the bad eyesight.
Yeah,
that was an early fight.
Yeah, you're talking about Daya.
Daya.
Yeah.
Daimo. Oh,
You said Daimo.
like.
It's a different person.
That's the vitamin C guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. So I got the names messed up. I was also thinking about Dolomite as well.
Dolomite. Yeah, Daya. She just steals Josuke's memories, and she's like, "Are you gonna fuss over me?"
I have a situational stand power.
No, we got. Yeah, because that's after they go to Kira's apartment, right?
Kira.
Yes, and he gets adopted into the Higashikata family.
Yeah, and then Yasuho drops him off, and Norisuke's like, "Hey, by the way, never come back."
That's so fucked up.
Yeah, and there is the symbol of the Steel Ball Run race. Like,
I got that too. I got the background that their family, their great grandfather.
Norisuke
was in the race.
The original Norisuke was in the race, and his daughter Rina Higashikata married Johnny. And then
I think that's another reason that like part 8 didn't click for me is because it was like part 7 was such a cool reimagining of part like 1. Like it was such a cool.
It was part 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, like it was a cool restart.
Well, and we kind of skipped part 2.
Yeah, but I was excited to see like because it was like cowboy times, and I was like, oh, it'd be cool if like he did period pieces in different parts of the world. For the next parts. But instead he just skipped to modern day.
Well, there's a solid like 4 chapters of Johnny Joestar flashback.
I heard about that.
In like early 1900s Japan.
But I think it's also interesting because it's like in part 4 it was Morio in the 90s, and this is Morio in like modern times.
Yeah,
of.
like 2011.
It was 2018, I think it was the time.
But when was part 4? When was part 4 getting released as manga?
Oh, it was
late 80s.
Wait, it was late 80s, like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah,
and it took place in 99.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like
he always like adds like 8 to 10 years,
a little extra years.
What time is part 9 taking place in?
Part 9 is like right now.
Yeah, 2020, like 2022 or something like that.
Yeah, because
they mentioned COVID.
They do mention COVID.
Yeah.
They have a Dua Lipa reference. Like they're like, oh, are you listening to Dua Lipa again? You're going, is that why you're driving like shit?
And she's like, yeah.
Jesus Christ, girl, he's getting out of hand.
Yeah, so
but it would have been
he's
nice
playing
for
a Switch.
Yeah.
Right? So
it would have been nice for another period piece for JoJo.
Well,
I just think it would have been cool.
The man has said he doesn't plan on stopping. So
amazing.
We'll probably. I have a feeling we'll have this part maybe be like a 6 to 7 year jaunt,
and then he makes part 10.
I'd be interested in a JoJo's that takes place in the 1980s in Nicaragua with the Contras.
I kind of agree because
like,
between part 2 and part 3,
yeah,
like you have a whole like generation that you skipped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you could have had anything from like the 50s to the 70s. Like, could you imagine like a Joseph Joestar in his like 50s doing
Studio
like
54.
some disco stuff? Oh yeah, Studio 54.
Was that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine JoJo's in the 70s.
Yeah, that would have been pretty.
That like disco JoJo's.
That was
Studio 54.
I ran a JoJo tabletop game one time, and it took place in 1973.
I remember that because I told you my character would be my character would be Stefani Zeppeli.
Whoa!
Remember this? My character was a Zeppeli. His name was Stefani Zeppeli, and his stand was "This shit is bananas."
Oh my god!
And he could turn anything that is banana into a gun.
What?
So like if he had like clogs that were in the shape of bananas. His hair, like he had like a hat that was like a big banana headpiece.
So as long as it's shaped and looked like a banana, he could transform it.
And he could put like there were banana, like he had banana printed pants. He could pull the print of the banana off of his pants into a gun. The only restriction is that he can't change the size of the banana. So like the gun is the size that the banana is.
Oh.
So like if he needs an assault rifle, he has to have a big fake banana or a very large banana.
Just coincidentally,
like
there's a
that.
banana stand right there with a big banana, like styrofoam banana stick at the top.
Yeah. Like a regular banana just like turns into a pistol. Like a little banana turns into a single fire pistol.
Wow,
It's pretty cool.
Eric, what's your OC stand?
Oh my lord! It's his name is his stand name is called Fake Love.
Yeah, I love this one.
Yeah, it's a knife. It's like a knife, like a Mike Myers knife, but it cuts deeper, a little bit deeper, it hurts a little bit more. Destruction power C, everything else E. Yeah,
Nice.
it's a stabby stab.
I like
Kyle?
that. Oh, mine. So let me tell you. I'll tell you about one of the enemy stands that we never got to. It was called Saturday Night Fever,
Okay.
and the stand was a club that was only open on Saturday nights,
Okay.
right? And
Kind of like Superfly.
yeah.
Okay.
It's or like Strength.
Yeah.
Right. So the stand is a location, and basically the club is open until like 2 a.m. But like if you don't leave the club by 2 a.m., you're trapped in there partying until the next Saturday
It's like
night.
it's like lotus eating.
Yeah,
Whoa.
but you really don't. You lose your sense of time.
Yeah.
Right. So like the players would have had to like make like intelligence saving throws and like con saves and stuff. 'Cause it's like kind of like Odysseus, like going into the you know how all that stuff goes.
Yeah.
So that was Saturday Night Fever, and the stand user is a guy in the mafia. Yeah,
Can it be Eddie Murphy?
sure.
Because his girl wants to party all the time.
Eddie Murphy.
Party all the time, party all the.
And wasn't your JoJo campaign like you were all Speedwagon agents?
Yeah, they were all Speedwagon agents.
That's cool. I
Yeah,
wanted-
because the story was, this is my original story. The Nazis that escaped World War II to go live in like Nicaragua.
The Contras.
There were rumors about conspiracy about like secret Nazi bases in Antarctica.
Yeah.
Is that there were more like pillarmen or something like that, and they were going to like they were going to block out the sun because they didn't have the Redstone of Asia anymore. They were going to block out the sun so that the pillarmen can like take over the world, and they were going to fight stands and zombies and vampires.
Wow.
That sounds fun.
Yeah,
You think you could play
they were going to have a stand level and a Haman level. They were going to train both of them.
I was going to say, can there be Haman only characters?
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you're
you wanna put yourself in
Haman
bed.
only, I mean, your stand's permanent purple, right? Or what's Jonathan's called? The what? The Passion.
Which one?
Jonathan's stand.
Jonathan has a stand.
You know when in the beginning of part 3 when Dio has like
Orb.
he has
has
like
that
the stuff
crystal
around him.
ball.
That's it. That's Jonathan's stand.
That's supposed to be Jonathan's
Yeah.
stand. It's like a copy of Hermit Purple,
But it's like Joseph has to bust a camera to take a picture.
I just have to look.
look.
Yeah, what's so dumb? And he only did that in the beginning. Like he
Yeah,
only showed it off in the beginning.
I think Iraqi was still, he was still cooking.
I want to watch the scene where Joseph Joestar goes to Japan and checks his bag full of 40 cameras.
I need these. You don't understand.
Man, look!
This is why I hate the Japanese.
This is a pre 9/11 society. Why is it so hard to bring cameras?
Why are you questioning what's in my bags?
What is this?
I love it when they're at Jotaro's and Holly's house, and he's like, "Oh, this coffee's disgusting. I hate Japanese coffee." And Avdol's like, "Mr. Joestar, that's an American coffee." What?
That's our guy.
Yeah,
That's our guy. He cheated on his wife.
He's ignorant too.
So, all right. But I think we've caught up on Jojolands now. I guess Christian, if you catch up, maybe we could have you back and talk about stuff once in a while.
You definitely piqued my interest in part 9, so I might have to read part 8. I might have to stomach it.
Hey man, go ahead and skip it. There's nothing part 8 related right now in part 9, so you can still read part 9.
You could like read the 10 chapters that we have.
Part 9, and then go back and read part 8. Because there's nothing right now that's going to spoil part 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Okay. Christian, you're our guest. Is there anything you want to plug?
Other than our sister podcast, no.
Whoa.
So tell us a little bit about that for those who don't know.
Eric has another podcast?
Eric has another podcast. He's cheating on Kyle in a different universe.
I mean...
Wow.
No, if you're interested in manga, definitely go and check us out. We talk more about comic books than we do manga, but we do talk about One Piece quite a bit. We just started season 2. Hopefully it'll be a little more organized than season 1 was, but I still think season 1 is a fun listen. Maybe that's the narcissism coming out.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Go follow us at Book Club from Planet Zero on Instagram, Facebook. And I think that's all we have. We also have a Patreon if you want to support a
it's on
small
YouTube.
podcast.
And
it's
on YouTube. And the website formerly known as Twitter, I think, right?
We don't have a Twitter.
Oh.
We do not have a Twitter.
We can. I mean...
why would we?
So here's the thing, right? Is that I'm the creature on that podcast. And on that podcast, I can only make noises.
You can do more than that if you wanted to. You chew.
You hang out with your alternate universe.
Yeah, that's my alternate universe persona.
Persona.
But
Beasona.
Let me tell you, man, social media, keeping up with posting and stuff is like...
It's a full-time job.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And...
I try to post.
I know you, and I see it when you do.
We might need a PR person.
Yeah, but yeah, we're trying to grow, So if you guys like this stuff, you like the sister podcast, give it a like. It goes a long way. Yeah. YouTube's starting to do this thing where they're recommending you like videos with like no views on it.
Yeah, I've seen some of that.
Those are some of my favorite TikToks. Is when I get a TikTok that has 0 views, 0 likes, and 0
and it's just
comments.
It's like an Asian dude just like looking at himself, like singing like a song.
I like it when it's like an old person, like an old white person who's just confused at their phone, and I'm like, this person didn't mean to take this video.
And then I'm like, yeah, I'm sharing this.
hopefully
I'm getting this media attention.
Hopefully we'll see us.
Thanks
in
for
that
having me, guys. I appreciate it. This was fun. A little more focused on anime. I dig that. And if you like the funny, goofy people, go out and find a stand-up comedy show and support local comedy and local entertainers.
Yeah,
that's what I'll plug.
Don't throw a tomato
at them. Do you
at
have like a Instagram or something?
You can find me. You can find me personally and posting all my stand-up comedy stuff at Christian Rice Comedy on Christian Rice Comedy on Instagram and Christian Rice Comedy on TikTok. I post clips of stand-up that I do. I tell jokes. Are they good? That's subjective.
I think your drawing ones are pretty funny.
Yeah,
the drawing ones are fun.
Yeah, it's all right. No, just kidding. You're a funny man.
Bastard.
Yeah. I guess if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at Kyle Russo Music. There's links to other places over there.
I am a non-creative, so you can just see me here on
Eric's
the podcast.
actually a voice that me and Kyle take turns doing.
Yeah, Christian was just trying to expand his repertoire, see if he could do 2-3 people at once. But yeah, if you guys have a specific question for Eric, just leave a comment on our things. And
we'll get it to him.
Yeah. All right, guys.
I'll find it eventually.
This has been... the return of the Thundercross Splitcast. I'm Kyle.
This is Eric.
And Christian, special guest.
All right. Till next time.
Thundercross Splitcast!